Hello there. It's the chairman of the United States Department of Nerds, where we are for the people, by the people, and of the people.
It's a trap!
All right, everybody. Welcome to New Comic Book Day for the week of December the 18th. And to start this week saw 285 new releases and 694 releases overall. That is a drop in new releases, however, a jump in overall releases. So there was a lot of books that got a lot of variants this week. As always, we're going to break this down by publisher. And to start, we are going to go with Psylocke, issue 2 by Alan Wong, and the cover is by Mahmoud Asar. And in this one, we see that Psylocke has lost her membership to the X-Men, and it's more of a investigative type of story so far, but it's still good. So recommend y'all pick that up. It's a good read so far. Also this week, from a galaxy far, far away, visiting Endor with the Ewoks, and this is issue 3 of Ewoks volume 1, written by Steve Orlando, and this cover is by Pete Woods. And in this, you see the Imperials continue their invasion of Endor. This has been a really good read so far. I've enjoyed reading a different story of the Battle of Endor, so it's been good. We're going to stay in the galaxy far, far away up next with Ahsoka, issue 6. And this one is by Rodney Barnes. And this cover is by Torrin Clark. And there's a variant cover that I picked up that I really liked by AKA. And if you're wondering, this book just follows the Ahsoka TV series. So they basically adapted the TV series into comic book format. And I'm really enjoying reading the TV series. It's been cool. So let's jump over to DC, where I actually picked up 2 different titles from DC this week. But let's first start with The Question, All Along the Watchtower. This is issue 2, and it is written by Alex Segura and cover by Cian Tormey. I hope it's how you say their name. And also, I picked up the foil variant. It's almost like a virgin variant. I wouldn't necessarily, actually, no, I would call it a virgin foil variant by Fico Ozio, is how I hope you say their name. But this is another one. I've really enjoyed this story so far. And Alex Segura is a brilliant writer. If you see one of his actual books in store, I highly recommend y'all pick up one of those as well. Now, staying with DC, as I said, I picked up 2 titles. And the next one is kind of bittersweet, as it is the finale of John Constantine's Hellblazer, Dead in America. And this has been written by Simon Spurrier. We got covers by Aaron Campbell and Daniel Bayliss. And there's a lot of familiar faces that show up in this series, and to include the Swamp Thing, the Dreamin', and also Death, who we all know always gets her man. And here's the other variant cover to this book. Up next, we're jumping over to Dynamite Comics this week with the Terminator issue 3. This, of course, is being written by Declan Shalvey. And this is a full metal jacket variant cover, also done by Declan. I really enjoyed this cover. Thought it was really cool. And the story's been pretty good, too. Up next, we have, for my horror fans this week, Zenescope with Grim Tales of Terror, their holiday special, being written by David Wohl. And the cover is by a guy named Pierre Luigi Abundanza, I think is how you say that. This is a really cool cover. Always enjoyed these stories. Grim fairy tales. I've always been a fan of those, and you get those elements in there. And this week we have Vault Comics with Lilith, issue 2 by Corin Howe. And this is one of his variant covers as well. And I believe he has 2 or 3 more covers that he did for this series this week. Moving on to Oni Press and Entertainment Comics. They are back to delight us with some more terrifying tales with issue 6 of Epitaphs of the Abyss. I've really, really enjoyed this series. It's a monthly series. It in here has stories written by Jay Holton, Mark Russell, Tim Seeley, and David Lippam. And this cover is by Lee Bermejo, is how I hope you say his name. I'm pretty sure I butcher a lot of names, and I don't do it on purpose, I swear. Let's go over to Darkhorse Comics. We're almost done. We got Darkhorse and one more after it. And we're going to start with Seance in the Asylum, issue 3, written by Alex Segura. And this cover is by Lucas Kettner. And like I said last time, if you're a fan of the occult and demon possession, I would highly recommend you pick up this book. It has been a great read so far, and it is definitely up Alex Segura's alleyway, as he is really good at writing horror. All right, coming up next, we're going right back to the galaxy, far, far away this week, with the High Republic Adventures, Volume 3. And this is being written by Daniel Jose Older. And the cover is by Valeria Favosia. Really good reads, by the way. If you're not on the High Republic yet, I highly recommend you pick up some High Republic to read, because I am definitely reading the High Republic. And this is High Republic Adventures, Dispatches from the Occlusion Zone. This is also being written by Daniel Jose Older. And this cover is by Jake Bartok. And I appreciate them staying with the same writer with these. It gives us continuity, and it's also just a good read to begin with. So let's jump over to Image Comics this week. We are almost done, as always. I say Image for last because I do pick up a lot more of their books typically. And up first this week, actually, we're staying in the Spawn universe for all of Image today. And up next is King Spawn, issue 40. This is written by Todd McFarlane, the Todd Father, as he is known. And this cover is by Marco Felia. And there's also a cover by Thaddeus Robeck that you will see later when I post the pictures of all the covers that I picked up this week. Up next is Spawn Kills Every Spawn. This is the conclusion of this series and is written by John Layman with covers by Rob Dunas and John McCrea. Been a fun read. Highly recommend it. Up next is a number 1. And what we're doing here is we're going back to Gunslinger Spawn before he was known as Gunslinger Spawn. And it's going to be Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger. This is issue 1 by Jimmy Palmiotti. And this is the Todd McFarlane cover. And there's 2 or 3 more covers accompanying it if you wanted to pick up all 4. And in this, we basically learn who the gunslinger's true identity is before he was pulled into the future in the current runs of this book. That was it for this week for my recommendations. I hope you would pick up one of these books and give them a try. Let us know what you thought of this week's show. And let us know what you're picking up this week. Hope you enjoyed the 12th episode. This is the 12th episode. We have one more episode to go for the year. And then, of course, I'll have my little break before the new year for New Comic Book Day, but it will be short-lived because this is a weekly episode show. This past Saturday, I did record my last live episode, and it will be covering, I think we covered Creature Commandos, Skeleton Crew, and then I finally gave everybody my 2 cents on Agatha All Along. That show will release the week of Christmas. I spaced it out nicely for my last 2 episodes, so I would drop episodes during most people's Christmas breaks. And then I'll be back with new live shows in the beginning of the year. I don't know when yet. Just watch the social media platforms and I'll make those announcements later. Hope you enjoyed the show. And if you did, hit that like, subscribe, and share button. And don't forget to share this with your family and friends. Like I said, I'll have a new episode coming out Christmas week for all of you to enjoy. And on behalf of myself, the chairman, and the Council of Nerds, this show is USDN approved.
It's a trap!